Loot boxes are in-game features that players can purchase and unlock. These crates contain random items of varying quality. That means you could get a mediocre item or a really good one. You never really know, and this game of chance appeals to a lot of gamers. In 2010, Valve added the loot box mechanic in Team Fortress 2, and it was a big success. Since then, future games released by Valve had loot box mechanics, mainly for cosmetic purposes. There were even third-party platforms dedicated to gamifying loot boxes. Since then, big dev companies started adopting this formula, mostly on free-to-play games. Consequently, games started to change. This type of purchase became a necessity. Devs started designing their games in a way that using the monetized features would give a clear advantage for the player. This is where the term pay-to-win started. It became the norm. These games became unbearable and borderline unplayable unless you purchase their monetized features. And within these features, the developers were able to fit the loot box mechanic. And it doesn't end there. It didn't take long before this mechanic started spilling over from free-to-play games over to full-priced games. You can imagine the initial reactions from the gaming community.
It is not ethical. It is getting kids and already susceptible people hooked on gambling. That's exactly what the loot boxes monetization system is all about, getting people coming back to keep spending money on a game that they've already paid for, full retail price, so that way they can keep making money off of it.
There's nothing here that makes you feel special. It's literally garbage! It's trash! Every fucking pool is trash! So what's the point? Fuck! Fuck! Fuck you too!
Everyone was upset. You already paid for the full game, yet some features are still locked off behind a paywall. And on top of that, the games still feature the predatory loot box mechanic. People thought that it didn't make any sense, but it did. Increased monetization proved to be very profitable to a lot of big game developers, and the loot box took the crown. Until recently. The boiling point of this issue came with Star Wars Battlefront 2, where devs added a loot box feature that was so bad that it drew everyone's attention. From there, the domino pieces fell into place. EA, which is a video game development company notoriously known for its predatory marketing, got into legal trouble for their implementation of loot boxes, and it was a spectacle to see. Seeing EA, Activision, and other companies try to justify loot boxes was pure entertainment.
We don't call them loot boxes. I think that was
whatever term you wish to apply to them. Do you consider them ethical?
So what we look at as surprise mechanics.
Legislation among several countries was introduced to ban manipulative design features, making it illegal to sell loot boxes to minors. After this wonderful series of events, other AAA games started to abandon loot boxes. Rocket League got rid of it, Destiny 2 got rid of it, the entire microtransaction market in Shadow of War was completely thrown out. And it's not like they're gonna lose money since they patented the entire Nemesis mechanic. A greedy corporate move, but a topic for another video. PUBG, Payday 2, Warframe, Gears 5, Heroes of Storm, BF2. A lot of games started to either abandon the idea altogether or made drastic changes to their current system. It was a big win for the consumers. Gone are the days that we were ignorant of what we were spending our money on. At the very least, we were given an insight, a preview per se, of which items we could possibly get from the randomized loot boxes. Which brings me to the beast that is slowly spreading its fingertips in the gaming industry. What started out as a playful gimmick using vending machines from Japan was implemented to the video game format. And boy oh boy do people eat it up. I'm obviously talking about Gacha. Gacha is the Eastern equivalent of a loot box. It's mostly popular among Asian regions, far from the legal bodies and liberal legislations that acted against the Western adaptation of loot boxes. So, what is the difference between Gacha and loot boxes? Nothing. I've seen a lot of conflicting arguments online from avid fans, but there really wasn't anything concrete to define each one. The consensus among gamers is that loot boxes are Western, while Gacha refers to Eastern games. Also, you'll notice that Gacha is mostly associated with unlocking entire playable characters, appealing to Japanese anime culture. But at the end of the day, it's mostly the same. No matter what form these greedy companies try to disguise this feature, we will always see it for what it is: gambling. And just like gambling, quite a lot of people, even kids, are getting into it. The main appeal from this feature is that you never actually know what you're gonna get. And that's the game of chance that a lot of us are willing to risk. Hence why players spend hundreds, thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands of their savings on loot box mechanics. Even kids could be exposed to gambling addiction at a very young age, which is a sad reality of gaming right now. But this isn't the end. Modern games have started to adopt a new feature in replacement of loot boxes: Battle Pass, a new monetization scheme that was popularized by Fortnite. Although it isn't perfect, I'd say it's a lot better than the previous one we've had. It's rare to see devs being genuinely passionate about their product rather than maximizing the profits. I mean, imagine being a Larian Studios and releasing Baldur's Gate 3. A game so good that other developers started complaining on Twitter that the game set a very bad example because now people are expecting too much in future games, which is kinda goofy.
But AAA game developers want you to know that this is rockstar level nonsense for scope, that it's foolhardy to set expectations higher, and Baldur's Gate 3 should not be used as a raised standard to RPGs going forward. Why shouldn't customers have raised standards? Taking it a step further, why shouldn't some AAA developers raise their own standards? Are we really going to pretend that consumers shouldn't be a little upset right now and hoping for an improvement in the industry going forward?
But it is what it is. Although the Western loot boxes have started to fall off, Gacha is starting to take its place. Though I'd say that the two most popular Gacha games don't necessarily have a predatory marketing. Genshin and Honkai don't really require the players to spend money at all on their games, as they're mostly banking on the power creeps and the whales and generally the fan service.